Hello, YouTube. This is Nano. He is my male Albino Burmese python. He is super friendly. He's a little bit of a talker, so when you go to the cage and open it up, he makes a lot of hissing noise. Very vocal. But once you get him out of the cage, he settles down really quick, and he's a big baby. He has been with me probably over 2 months now, and has probably grown at least 3/4 of a feet, maybe a whole foot, and gained about 3 pounds. So he was about 7 pounds when I got him. He's just over 10 pounds now. And he actually looks like he would weigh more than 10 pounds just by his size. But he only weighs 10 pounds. But he is very solid. He has got a fairly muscular appearance, a little bit square in shape. And you want to keep your male Burmese pythons a little bit more muscled and toned than obese and fat and round. It's okay for the females to be a little bit more round than the males, but Burmese are prone to obesity, so you don't want to power feed them or overfeed them. They will eat as much as you offer them. They are never ever going to refuse a meal. So they're never going to tell you that they're full, so you're just going to have to make your own good judgment. Now some people will feed large snakes like this once every 2 or 3 weeks, a very large meal. And some people will feed them once a week a moderate sized meal. I think it's healthier, in my own personal opinion, to feed them a little more often and a smaller amount of food, so it makes it easier for them to digest. And he actually could probably eat a 3 or 4 pound rabbit. But I feed him 2 extra large rats every 7 days. So he eats about 2 pounds of food at a time because they weigh about a pound apiece. He has been growing really well. He seems pretty happy. He's got a good muscle tone. He's very friendly. And so that's just about the right amount of food for him, you know, for me. That's what I choose to feed. Now, when he gets older, of course, he's going to have to eat rabbits and things like that. But for now, it's easier for me, easier for him, just to eat the extra large rats. Pretty large. Probably close to 8 feet now, maybe just over 8 foot. And healthy as a horse. Very sweet. You can put him right up to your face and he's not going to try to bite you. He might stick his tongue in your face, but that's okay. Snake's just going to have to smell you to make sure you're not dinner. No, just kidding. They can tell when it's dinner time. When you have food in the room, or even in the next room, they know. So you have to be very careful when you're feeding large snakes, because their belly and their appetite can overcome their love for you. Yes, he gets very anxious when it's feeding time. I personally like to cage feed my larger snakes, if at all possible. So I will put him in a great big Rubbermaid tub and very carefully crack open the lid and give him the rat. And you got to be very careful, because once he smells it, he's going to strike at anything warm. And when he's done feeding, or I should say when you're done feeding him, he doesn't know that. He thinks whatever comes in that tub is going to be food. So, what you need is a big, thick, sturdy snake hook like this. And when feeding time is over, from a distance, you hold the end and you lift him up out of his feeding tub. Usually, once you start lifting him up, he knows feeding time is over, and you can pretty much grab him. But if he's making fast movements, then it's probably good to keep using the snake hook and keep his front end away from you until he's back in the cage and he's had a couple hours to get over the feeding time. But, you know, I usually just pick him up with a snake hook. Once he's up and out of the cage, he's usually fine. do not underestimate how far these guys can strike. He's about 8 feet long. He could probably strike 4 feet up in the air. So you want to make sure and keep a good healthy distance. There's Nano. He's saying hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello, this is Buttercup. She's my female Albino Burmese python. And she is a super big sweetheart. Most Burmese pythons hiss quite a bit. They're just kind of known for that. They're very vocal. She's very, very quiet. She rarely makes any noise at all. You can reach in the cage. She's always happy to come out of the cage. You open the door, she knows it. The very second the door's open, here she comes. She knows it's time to come out of the cage. She wants to be an escape artist. Every time I put her in the cage, she checks for about 20 minutes just to make sure I did not leave a possible way for her to get out. So she's a little hyper, and but she's a big sweetheart. Now she's probably about 7.5 feet long. She was about 6 3/4 when I got her, so she's grown about 3/4 of a foot in about 2.5 months, and that's good. Now the people I got her from said she was 4 years old, so I'm not sure if I believe that 100% or if she was just grown really, really slowly. That's a little too slow if you ask me for a Burmese python to be this size at 4 years old, but so I've been kind of careful about feeding her because I don't want to throw her metabolism out of whack and change it too much too fast and cause needless stress on her. So I've been feeding her one extra large rat about every 5 days. And, you know, the male, he gets 2 about every 7 days. So she's growing pretty good. She has already shed twice for me since I got her. And she's actually quite gold in appearance. Nano has got lots of white lines separating his pattern, but she's pretty golden. She's got almost a solid gold back. She does have smaller white lines separating her markings, but she's just really, really golden. So Buttercup was a really good name for her. And I've got another video about Nano and Buttercup that explains more about their names if you want to watch them. But she's a real sweetheart, and she wants to come out of the cage, like I said. Every time you go near the cage, open the door, she knows it. And so she's my big baby. She will calm down after a while. You know, she wants to crawl around for 30 minutes or an hour, but after you get her a little bit tired, she'll curl up in your lap or on your shoulders, and you can sit there and watch TV with her. But she's a good eater. She's not quite of an aggressive eater as Nano is. So, you know, I do take her out of the cage to feed her, put her in a great big tub. And she's a good eater. You know, she's got a typical Burmese response, but not quite as an aggressive response as Nano. Nano will come up out of the tub hunting for that rat. She will kind of raise up and take it out of the tongs really quick. But there's a difference between the way she eats and the way Nano eats. So she probably has been grown more slowly than Nano. But she's in really good condition. She is sort of muscular, but if you look at her around, she's just a little bit more curvy than the male. And that's kind of what you want for your female if you're going to breed them. I plan to breed Nano and Buttercup next year. A little bit about HR 669. It did not pass, as is. We have to keep a check on it to make sure that if they do rewrite it and try to repass it, that it's agreeable with reptile owners and exotic species owners to make sure it's okay, and we're not going to lose our privilege of owning these wonderful and exotic creatures. This is Buttercup, and she says thank you to everybody that responded to HR 669. And defended her honor. So, anyhow, cheers to everybody on YouTube.